Hey everybody, XEI here for a March update. This one's actually pretty robust because I've worked out some numbers. It's also a little bit late, I understand that, but I'll also maybe talk a little bit about why that happened. Actually, let me talk about that up front because I'm just going to throw myself off if I do this in the middle of the update episode. So the reason why I meant to have this video out on March 1st, obviously, because it's supposed to be the beginning of the month update video, but I got caught up watching Critical Role's second campaign, or campaign 2, or whatever they're calling it, on Geek and Sundry, and I started watching that, and I marathoned through the 8 episodes that were posted at the time, 7 or 8 episodes, because I wanted to catch up to the live broadcast. But then again, I never have time to watch the live broadcast because I'm usually editing or playing a game for this channel, so I didn't really have to marathon it, but I did anyways because that's how I work. And in any case, I lost a week. I lost a week of anything productive for this channel went away because I basically put in like 30 to 40 hours of watching Critical Role's second campaign, or campaign 2, or whatever they're calling it. I've always wanted to watch their first campaign, but I don't even know how many episodes there are. I just know that it's an unfathomable journey that I don't think I'm willing to take. There's so many hours involved in watching Critical Role's first campaign that I have got a buddy that constantly talks about this tabletop, their RP, Mercer's, like the way he plays the NPCs, the way he creates environments, and it's all very just inspiring. It's inspiring. Part of me wants to maybe, and I'm maybe get back into GMing, and if I do that, I'll bring that to this channel in particular because it is gaming, and so it's relevant to gaming, and I'm not confident enough to do it right now. When I finish Dragon Age Inquisition is when I would probably start to think about stuff like this, bringing this kind of content to the channel. Or if I bring it before that, it's going to be, or during Inquisition, it'll be like these one-shots just for me to warm up. But there's a possibility of tabletop gaming coming to the channel. I didn't intend to share that in this update video, but it all made sense because I was talking about Critical Roles and how that destroyed my first week of March. Let's get into my notes here. I've got notes for all the stuff that I have planned that I believe for the rest of the year. And there's some stuff that's not, like, I can't predict, but here it goes. So BioShock is currently on the tail end of, I think I'm at the end of the game at this point. I've got 28 recorded, 27 just launched as of the recording of this video. So that takes the formula to predicting that this will last 33 episodes. Do I think I'm 5 episodes away from the end of the game? I don't, because I know that I just got to a new area, and if new areas are any indication of how long or how much more play there is, then I'm thinking this new area probably has 5 episodes for it, and it doesn't look like it ends at this area. I feel like I'm very much close to the end, but based on the narrative framework that I've been breaking down for all of you in the Let's Read Dragon Age novel series, I talk about this a little bit at the tail end of BioShock episode 28. I spend the last bit of that episode giving my speculation based on the narrative pattern framework that I've come up with and where I believe I'm in the game, because the game feels like it's very much a narrative driven game. Despite it being a first person shooter, despite it being like action oriented, there's a lot of narrative pieces to BioShock, and it's phenomenally well done. And if you're not really in tune with subconscious narrative triggers come into storytelling that you'll hear me talk about in the Dragon Age novels, it's something I've been fascinated with for over 10 years, almost 20 years, and I started to realize that this was happening in BioShock when certain, like, not reveals yet, but I'm speculating on some reveals that will happen in this game. I really feel like I'm onto something. We'll see if I'm right or not. Do not spoil me. I'm playing BioShock blind, and I'm saying this just, to kind of let you know that if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on BioShock, and I mean, I could have done something like this at the end of playing BioShock, but I find it fun to sort of speculate and guess when I start to think about the narrative pattern framework and in the experience that I'm having. So I've never done it to a video game though, because video games it's not really possible to apply the framework that I've kind of drafted up. It's not possible to apply that to a video game because every video game, that experience is very much relative to the player, and the player, and how the player plays that experience. And so the way they pace out that experience is very different. The way I pace out a game because I take things slower is very different than someone who ramps through something like BioShock and just plays it as a first-person shooter and doesn't give a crap about the story behind it. So but in any case, I'm really feeling like the patterns are working out, and it's usually telling of a very well-crafted story as if it fits into this framework. So anyways, back to why I think it's not going to be 33 episodes is because based on that pattern, I feel like I'm at the tail end of, I'm reaching the tail end of Act 2, and I feel like I'm going to get a reveal that's very much to the pattern. That's I'm not going to get into here. Watch episode 28, end of episode 28. But there's going to be a reveal that's then going to kick off Act 3. So I feel like I'm getting closer to that 66% mark, and then I still have a third of a game to go. So I feel like the BioShock is going to go somewhere near the 38 to 40 mark episodes, maybe 42. I don't know. I can't. But based on that, if I've got 25% or 30% left of the game, I'm thinking there's at least 10 or 12 episodes left of BioShock. And that takes us to The Witcher. The Witcher is now done the tutorial. I got to the first settlement, and it's all I really wanted to do, kind of casually, like here and there, just to kind of understand the mechanics, understand what I'm getting into, just understand the framework, get some of the conversation going in the comments so that I can understand what it is I'm supposed to be looking forward to. If from the mechanics standpoint, do not spoil the game for me. I'm already feeling pretty comfortable with The Witcher. I feel like as soon as I kick off the game and commit to it as the primary series, I think that game is going to go remarkably smooth, and I'm probably going to record ahead to a certain degree, because I feel like it's the kind of game also that the way the story is composed in the game, I don't feel like, and by what I've gotten out of the comments in old vlogs and in the first 4 episodes of The Witcher, it sounds like choices I make that have consequence, those consequences are going to come so late in the game that I can't do anything about them, even if I wanted to, even if like my gut is like, oh, I wish I could roll that back and just fix it. I would never be able to do that. So there's good and bad there. I mean, well, there's all good actually, but there's no bad at all. It means I have to accept the decisions I make, and accept those consequences. But it also opens up the opportunity for me to record ahead of people in the comments, because it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. If I screw something up, it's going to be too late. If I screw something up that's going to screw something up later on, like hours and hours and hours and hours down the line, then it's not going to matter. And so I'm going to probably record ahead on that series, and then it'll just be an editing grind. I'm gonna guess in the last like 30% of that game is just to be me editing. My prediction on The Witcher is it's going to be about 99 episodes long. I know that's pretty specific. I get it just at 100. I'll explain why I say 99. Then it can give or take. But for all intents and purposes, 99 is what I'm saying. And so at about 20 episodes a month, if I start this game in mid-March, which is what I'm presuming is going to happen, that takes us to an August finish. Keep that in mind, right? So Witcher will run from this month to August. Next up is Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 is, I wanted to play that one before Inquisition for 2 reasons. I need to buy myself time to finish the 3 novels that precede Inquisition, and I would love to do a Let's Talk, at least for the first one, and then maybe I'll do something else for book 2 and 3, just so that I can speed that up and catch up to when I need to start recording or playing Inquisition. But Mass Effect 3, I'm also predicting 99 episodes. If I were to start Mass Effect 3 at about the July mark, so that's about 66% of the way into The Witcher, which I believe I will be done playing The Witcher, so I will start Mass Effect 3. That takes us to a November finish. A November finish. And now that's a game I don't feel like I will really record that much ahead of people, because I find that with Mass Effect 2, with Dragon Age 2, there are things that I have regretted, and I wish I didn't get 8 or 10 episodes ahead of the community. So I'm going to try not to do that for Mass Effect 3. So that takes us to November finish. And now, before talking about Inquisition, I'll talk about Inquisition now. So the prediction here is that Inquisition is probably only going to kick off in October. I know I keep on pushing that out. Like, I know that I believe I said March, like 3 vlogs ago, and then I said April, and then I said maybe May or summer, latest, in the last vlog, I think. And now I'm bumping it into fall. but it's just, I feel like my predictions are more on the ball now, and it's just I want to make sure that the expectations are clearly stated up front, and I want to be transparent about how I'm getting to these numbers so that you guys can keep up with me, and if something changes, something changes. But anyways, at the end of this vlog, I'll explain how this breakdown works using 4 examples from this channel, just to show you just how damn close these predictions get. But before I get to that, let's talk about the other stuff that's going on in this channel real quick, and the stuff that's going on outside of the channel that's going to free up time, or that's taking up new time, or whatever the case might be. There's a couple things going on that are going to continue for the rest of this year. So you've seen episodes for the Kingdom release on the channel. I recorded all of the Kingdom episodes, so Kingdom Classic, Kingdom New Lands, and Kingdom Skull Island. I recorded that on New Year's Day, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So over the first 5 days of January is when I recorded that game. I recorded all of it. There is going to be about 100 episodes of that stuff released. The last 40 of those episodes is just me trying to clear Skull Island, which is a dreadfully difficult expansion that the publisher, the developer, released at the tail end of 2017, which is why I ended up playing this game, and then I got super addicted, and I refused to let the game beat me, and so it resulted in the additional 40 hours of me trying to clear Skull Island. Because every time so the way Skull Island works is that every time you attempt it, the challenge is so long. We're talking like every challenge might take you 3 to 4 hours before you lose. And you lose because you have to learn. The point of this game is that you do something, you learn, and then you're like crap, and you have to throw it away, and then you do it again, and then you learn, and you do it again, and you learn, right? And then every time you get a little bit, your strategy gets a little better until you can finally defeat the game. Yeah, so that's about 12 hours worth of game. I think I tried it 4 times, 3 hours a pop or something like that. Maybe, I don't even know. I don't know. It was a blur. It was a blur. I wasn't sleeping. I probably I recall putting in the last 30 hours of play over, I think it was like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I might have gotten a total of 4 or 6 hours of sleep over 3 days. I was so addicted to this game. I took the week off of work. It was a crazy time. Anyway, so that's Kingdom. That's all recorded. It's just, and they're really easy to edit because I'm just trying to review for like when there's lulls. But it's something I run in the background while I'm like doing other things, and I just have to listen to it to see if things are decent, and then I just export it. So that one's fine. Plants vs. Zombies was something I did just to kill time. It was a game I played in 2009 or 2010 on the 1st generation iPad. I don't know why it took me so long to get back to trying the game out, but it was released for free on Origins, the Game of the Year edition or something, and I'm like, it's free. Why don't I just kill some time and I'll just hit record? And then it got addictive. And I've cleared the game. This week I cleared the game. I completed the last, I guess, 20 levels. So levels 4 and levels 5 are all recorded now, and I'm in the last. I got 5 left to put up to the channel. So that one was pretty fun to do. I don't know if I'll go and do all the extra stuff right away, but it'll just be something I might come back to on occasion throughout the year. But for all intents and purposes, that series is done. It seems like quite a few people enjoyed this kind of that playful game like coming to the channel. It did a lot better than I anticipated for a random game that dropped without me warning anybody. So that was fun. News out there from collaborations. So the Borderlands 1 has wrapped up as of last month, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. The 4 of us wrapped up Borderlands 1 on Angel Arch's channel. You can go over there and check it out. And we're not going to be doing the DLCs for that in Borderlands 1, but what's going to happen is I'm going to do the DLCs for Borderlands 1 on this channel. Well, what we did is we moved straight into Borderlands 2. We started that one this week. It's a great looking game. It's a lot of fun. I'm already into this game, man, like huge, big time. And I recorded on the side just in case, just because I was doing system tests and whatever, and so I might cut some videos together for my character's perspective on that game. I played the Berserker, the Psycho, Krieg, and holy crap, has it been a lot of fun, especially coming off of Bioshock, where I'm very cautious, and I'm kind of getting like a little bit more overpowered, so my confidence is going up in Bioshock. But with a game like Borderlands, which is very playful, it's very lit up, so I can see what I'm doing. There's no psychological like obstacles. Playing Krieg, where the point of this character is to charge into the chaos and just go nuts, and you get the power where your blood axe happens or whatever it's called. I'm only level 6 or 7, so we're literally a few hours in, 3 hours in maybe into the game, and I'm already really enjoying Borderlands 2. And that's also on Angel Arch's channel, so go over there and check that out. We will be doing, I believe, most of or all of the DLCs as well together, so I'm really looking forward to that game. So also on Angel Arch's channel, let's stay on that topic, the Pokemon Tabletop Adventures campaign is coming to an end. I think we have 2 sessions to do in March, 1 session, the last session to do in April, the finale, and then that's it. That's it for that tabletop. It was a great experience, and I can't wait to see how that's going to end. If you haven't seen the tabletop, it's been a lot of fun. I know it's Pokemon, and people might be thinking, Pokemon, that's not really for me, but there's a take of it. There's a take on the Pokemon IP that's a lot more grounded. It's a lot more, it deals with a lot more societal stuff, political stuff. It takes some ideas from the Pokemon universe, and it tries to see them through a different lens, and our characters kind of work our way through this mystery involving the legendaries, and we'll see what happens. So that's going to come to an end. I'm going to be, I think, starting Pokemon Leaf Green, the Game Boy Advance game. I might be bringing that to the channel as a kind of like the replacement for the Plants vs. Zombies or the Kingdom, like a game I can just pick up for 1 or 2 hours, and then I can have episodes in the backlog and just get them out. Because I feel like I need to now experience an actual Pokemon game after playing the tabletop. And from here, I'll talk about the other secondary games I know for sure will come to the channel is Shadowrun Returns. I've already started recording that one. I think that I can get through that one, but I'm going to record all of it before I start releasing to the channel, so that I know that I will be doing consistent uploads when I start these like side games. Another game I know I can confirm is To the Moon. That's going to be the next one I start recording, and then we'll go from there. A lot of those like side games will be sort of random, and they will just, it's on a whim. I'm like, I want to play this game now, and I'll do it, and then I'll know a little bit more at the beginning of every month. I'll have that schedule organized a little bit better, because what these smaller form games will do is they will just start creating a backlog of content that I just have when I have 15 minutes where I can edit something, opposed to needing 45 minutes or an hour. You know what I mean? Like, that's why those side games are really important. They allow me to still get something out on literally while I'm drinking coffee before work, and I got 15 minutes. I'm editing one of those smaller videos just so I can export it and then get to work. So it's one of those, it's just very efficient for me to have those games on the side. So from there, Inquisition. I think we already talked about it. Novels will come first. I'm guessing it'll start out in November, and that's going to be an enormous run. I've had some exchanges in the comments. I'm not going to be completist about Inquisition. I'm going to let the character drive the story, and I'm doing that because I want to play other games on this channel. And if I let myself go down the completionist path for Dragon Age Inquisition, based on what I've seen, the numbers I've seen for completionist times, I'm not willing to commit that much time to Inquisition, because we have other games we can bring to this channel. Thanks for the interaction in the comments. You've pretty much convinced me. If you see me going down a path that looks like a rabbit hole, just warn me, and then I'll just make a call on it, and then I will reverse, and I won't go down the rabbit hole. I'm just going to let the character guide the story and let it be what it is. And if I miss things, I'm going to be okay with that, because I would play the game again. I'm very likely going to play a game like Inquisition again. I just want to move on to other things. So at the end of this vlog, let me explain to you how I break down the predictions for how long these series will run. I've got this formula I've created. It's based on numbers that I gather from howlongtobeat.com. It's a website that gathers data from a bunch of players, the games they've cleared. I think it collects things like speed runs, normal runs, completionist runs, and it creates and then it gives you an average of all times. What I do is I go and check the game. So let's use Dragon Age Origins as an example. I'll go to howlongtobeat.com. I will check the completionist time of Dragon Age Origins. I will add that to all the completionist times of the DLCs that I would be playing, and then in this case that adds up to 98 completionist hours. I increase that by 50%. That gets us to 148 completionist hours. I convert completionist hours to episodes. So usually an episode would run from 30 to 45 minutes. So don't worry about how minutes convert to episodes. Don't worry about any of that. Just cut the corners and just convert that final total to episodes. So that gets us 148 episodes. What's the actual count on the channel? 153. So that gives you a very clear idea. Like that's one that had a lot of episodes. Like there was a lot of potential for that thing to be off by many more episodes. But you know, when it happens once, it might be a coincidence, right? When it happens twice, I start to hypothesize a pattern. When you look at Dragon Age Awakening, which is when I started to key into this because I was creating a spreadsheet that was trying to figure out the formula while I was playing Dragon Age Origins. Don't worry, my mind is weird. So Dragon Age Awakening clocks in at 22 completionist hours. Increase that by 50%, you get 33 completionist hours. Convert the hours to episodes, you get 33 episodes. How many episodes were on this channel? 33 episodes. At that point, it became a pattern for me that I wanted to prove with a hypothesis, and so Dragon Age 2 enters the fold. Dragon Age 2, you go to the howlongtocomplete.com, you add up the Dragon Age 2 completionist hours with the DLC completionist hours. That gets us 74 completionist hours. Increase that by 50%. That gets us 101 completionist hours. Convert that to episodes. That's 101 episodes. How many episodes were on the channel? 107 episodes. So a little bit of discrepancy again, but you can see it's pretty darn close. And so let's bring the fourth example into this, Mass Effect 2. Same thing, go to howlongtobeat.com, add together the completionist hours of the main game plus the DLCs that were also played in the game. That gets you 63 completionist hours, increased by 50%. That gets you 95 completionist hours. Convert that to episodes, 95 episodes. How many were on the channel? 94 episodes. So I'm pretty sure this is a pattern. It's a formula that seems to work. I feel like I'm gonna break it on BioShock, but that's probably because it was a horror game, and up front I was just taking way too long to get through the game, and it was throwing me off. It was just throwing me off. So that's probably why that calculation went to the crapper. But I'm thinking The Witcher and Mass Effect 3 will probably meet this formula in some fashion. So we're talking about 100 episodes each for those. And I don't remember now. I didn't go to the site to check Inquisition's hours. I do know that the completionist hours are well over 100, but like I said earlier, that number's not going to matter in this case because I'm not going to try to do everything. So it's probably going to be more the main story time. If you grab the main story time, increase by 50% to convert to episodes, and we'll probably get a good idea of how long that's going to run on this channel before we get to play the games. And trust me, there are a lot of other games to play, but this is me mapping out 2018 as best as possible so that I can be transparent about how I've reached these numbers, how much I'm capable of doing. Like, I try to work out the math as if I were to get 20 episodes of each series, each primary series out a month, which is like 5 episodes a week on average. You know, sometimes I can get 7 out, but sometimes there's those things happen, right, where it'll send my economy of time off course, and then I release 4 or I release 5 or whatever. So the average, I'm just going to say it's 20 per month, and that's how I'm getting to the numbers I'm getting to. So that I'm not going to disappoint myself. I'm not going to try to kill myself to try to make Inquisition start in the summer, which I would probably do if I kept saying that in the next couple of vlogs. So I just wanted to set the record straight. That's the new plan going forward, is the one that has been laid out in this update video. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you guys enjoy the lineup that's coming. Hopefully you guys are okay with me pushing things out the way that I did. I can always shift things, right? I can always not do the novels like I said. I can always stop the Let's Read series at the first book and just give you summaries of 2 and 3. It all depends on what pattern I pick up and what kind of pace I pick up after the Pokemon Tabletop campaign ends, where I'll get most of a Saturday back, and I will use that Saturday to record these novel episodes, like maybe 2 or 3 a day or something like that. So it'll help ramp us through the collection of that content so that I can edit throughout, you know, the next 1 or 2 weeks and get something. At least 2 out a week need to happen. 3 out a week would be the goal. Otherwise, I'm not going to hit August, and I need to at least hit August with the first book. Otherwise, that's definitely going to take book 2 and 3 off course, and I'm just going to read them on my own because I can finish a book in like 4 or 5 days, 3 days, right, if I commit to it. But I just think it's fun breaking them down blind because I just think it's a fun way to do content for books that I've never seen on YouTube. So hopefully that's also going to be more enjoyable when I start posting more often. I'm sorry. I will try to do better, and I will wrap this episode up here. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, everybody. Peace.